Most people relocating to Colorado start by looking at houses, but that's a mistake. You should start with lifestyle. On this channel, I help you dial in which locations will support the lifestyle you're looking for, and only then will we start looking for houses. One town that comes up a lot is Castle Rock. So today's question: is Castle Rock the best suburb in South Denver? I'm Rick Gonzalez. I help people relocate into Colorado, figure out the lifestyle they want and which locations support it before we start looking for houses. Because finding a house is easy. Choosing the right place for your life, that's what really matters. So now let's get into Castle Rock. Before we start talking about location, let's talk about the lifestyle. What does everyday life look like living in Castle Rock? Well, when people think about moving to Colorado, one of the big things that's on their mind is the outdoors life. The weather and the climate up here is perfect for being outdoors a lot. So does Castle Rock support that? Well, we have easy access to trails. We have features and amenities such as Philip S. Miller Park, which has the mini incline if you want to get a workout. Definitely don't confuse that with the Manitou incline. No, mini incline. But they also have the MAC Recreation Center. There's pools, there's an amphitheater, there's zip lines, outdoor gym area. We have miles and miles of trails. One of them is Ridgeline Open Space, which I think is over 12 miles of trails. Really good for kind of intro to hiking, mountain biking, long walks with your dog. That's where we go and take our dogs for a walk every day. But we have trails and outdoor space that's easily accessible throughout Castle Rock that really kind of brings that Colorado lifestyle much closer, much more convenient. One of the things that me and Katrina really love about living in Castle Rock is the fact that we get to take our dogs for a walk every day out on the trail, get some outdoor time, fresh air, sunshine. There's always deer on the trail. Sometimes you see foxes and other wildlife, but getting out on the trails and having access to that every day is a real plus. Okay, the other side of the lifestyle is going to be the community. So we'll talk a little bit more about downtown Castle Rock. If you're a fan of, Gilmore Girls or any of those types of show where they have the small, I call it like small town USA or Main Street USA feel, that's kind of how I would explain Castle Rock. You know, those buildings that are, over 100 years old that have been repurposed. We have local coffee shops, local diners, restaurants. There's Festival Park where they have jazz nights, farmers markets, all kinds of community events held right in the center of downtown Castle Rock. I would say most neighborhoods are going to be within 5 to 15 minutes of downtown Castle Rock. So no matter where you live, you have pretty easy access to go down, grab a coffee, get a haircut, do some shopping, have dinner, attend an event, without it being, you're not driving to Denver for all of your daily activities or entertainment. The community here, the way it's designed and set up really is awesome. Okay, so if the lifestyle is sounding pretty good, it's what you're looking for, let's talk about the location of Castle Rock. You can see here, Denver is about 30 to 45 minutes north, and then on the south end, you've got Colorado Springs, which is about the same 30 to 45 minutes south. The reason why this is such a big deal is because Denver and Colorado Springs have completely different vibes and feels, amenities, attractions. In some suburbs, you might be really close to Denver, making Colorado Springs pretty inconvenient to get to. Where in Castle Rock, you're really convenient to both. If you want to go to Garden of the Gods or Ford Theater in Colorado Springs for a concert, you're 30, 45 minutes south. If you want to go downtown Denver for a Rockies game or a Broncos game, Nuggets game, a concert, you're about 30, 45 minutes south of Denver. That drive time is pretty convenient to both of those bigger metro areas. You also see to your northeast, you're about 35, 45 minutes, depending on the time of day, to the international airport. And it is a true international airport. If you haven't flown out of Denver, you can fly direct to Europe and many of the large cities around the country without having a connecting flight, which is, in my opinion, really freaking awesome. The other really nice part about being close to both of those metro areas, of course, is jobs. So if you're moving here for a job, you can, entertain job offers from both Denver and Colorado Springs. Okay, so if the lifestyle and the location haven't scared you off and you're still watching, let's talk a little bit about the kind of housing you might see here in Castle Rock. We talked a little bit about downtown with the buildings that are sometimes 100 years old. Right next to downtown, you are going to have some of the older mid-century modern style homes that are, a short walk from downtown. A lot of these mid-century moderns have been renovated, but a lot are straight OG older homes tons of character and unique styling to them. And one of the benefits of living downtown Castle Rock, of course, is you are snuggled right up to the rock that Castle Rock gets its name after. So you get great views of the rock from most of those homes. Going kind of one circle out from downtown, you're going to have lots of planned neighborhoods like the Meadows, Crystal Valley, Terrain, where the homes are going to be built by your larger production builders. Most of these neighborhoods are going to be built from 2000 on. You're going to have like Richmond, Lennar, Toll Brothers, Taylor Morrison, all of these big builders that you probably are familiar with from wherever you're moving from are going to be building in this area. Of course, your HOAs are all going to have their separate fees, different amenities depending on which community you're looking at, but still going to be within that 5 to 10 minutes to downtown Castle Rock, which is great. Now, going one layer further out, if you're looking for something that has more acreage, if you want to build something that's more custom, or if you want to have a little bit of a different lifestyle, if you're going to have horses, or if you want to have a farm, then you can go a little bit further from downtown, getting closer to that 15-minute from downtown range. And there's lots of land, lots of homes that are on acreage that we see come on the market from time to time. Some of those are going to be custom, some of those are going to be older, so there is kind of the full range. And then, of course, if you're not looking for single family, if you're looking for something more like a townhouse or a condo, downtown does have condos. And then in a lot of these planned communities, they will have multifamily developments as well. Now, as we're talking about Castle Rock, and again, I live in Castle Rock. I am biased, but I don't want to paint this as Castle Rock is perfect. It is pretty close. But of course, there are trade-offs. We touched on it with the location. If you are working downtown Denver, downtown Colorado Springs, it's definitely doable. But you really need to think about what that commute is going to look and feel like, and are you okay with it on a daily basis? It's one thing to drive downtown a couple times a month for entertainment, but if you're doing that drive every single day, traffic can be, it's big city traffic, right? There's many times I get on 25. If I have to go to like an early class downtown, and you can go from perhaps slightly over the speed limit to standing dead still on 25 within a mile. The nice thing is it does feel like the traffic moves pretty quickly, so your commute shouldn't be too long, but it will be stop and go during those heavier traffic times. The other thing, as far as the trade-offs that I want to mention, is if you're coming from a place where you were in more of an urban setting where everything was walkable, Castle Rock is not that. Unless you live in one of the condos right downtown, you're going to be driving at least 5 to 10 minutes to get to downtown Castle Rock where you can park, and then everything is walkable and accessible. Not really walkable to downtown unless you live right down there. But that's about it. I mean, everything else is pretty awesome here. So who is Castle Rock perfect for? I think it's perfect for people who, if you're going to be working in DTC, Denver Tech Center, that's maybe 15, 20 minutes north on I-25, so that's a super easy commute. If you work for yourself or you work remote, we've got some really great co-work spaces downtown Castle Rock where you can set up shop and work from if you want to kind of, be in the mix. And again, the outdoor lifestyle. Now, I'm not talking about like extreme hikers and skiers. If you want to go skiing, you're still driving a couple hours up to Breckenridge. But on a daily basis, if you just want to be out on the trails, and if you want to have slightly better views than if you were in, say, a Parker or Aurora, then Castle Rock is a great fit. If you want the access to the big city amenities, but you don't want to live in the big city, Castle Rock might be perfect for you. If that doesn't sound like a fit for you, no worries. We've got tons of different suburbs around Denver that might be perfect for you. So I guess the question is, what do you think? Is Castle Rock the best suburb in South Denver? One of the questions that I get when people are thinking about moving to South Denver is, do they choose Castle Rock or Parker? Parker is another one of the really popular suburbs around Denver, both with completely different lifestyles and amenities and feels. So in the next video, we're going to compare Castle Rock and Parker and see if we can help you decide which one is the best fit for you.